Right, welcome to our first look at the update 0.5 for HardSpace ShipBreaker. We actually haven't looked at this in a while, but I have to say it's a very clever game for what it is. So you've got different modes, it looks like now. Open shift removed, shift timer and oxygen drain for a more relaxed experience. 30 revives. Measure twice, cut once. No revival. Right, so this is kind of like easy, standard, hard, and hard as nails. Let's go with open shift for now. Open shift mode allows players to play at their own pace. Please select below if you would prefer to use the standard oxygen drain or if you would prefer oxygen drain disabled. Oxygen will still leak if you crack your helmet. I'd say drain disabled. So we can have a good look. The hazard pay is worth the risk. We shall see. Update on your application. This looks like I'm starting over actually. I know it's been a while since I was on, but still. Spare fee. Gone digital. Biometric, I should say.
Hello, Cutter 9346-52.
9346-52.
Now begin. Please observe this important message. Space, boundless promise. Limitless resources, a brighter future. It's here that hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to the
Asset replacement successful. Right. So basically we were in debt before we've even started. As some would say, we're totally shafted, hey. That's what, 1.2 billion is it? This is a sign of being prepared. Oh, this does look different actually since I was last here.
Anyway, welcome aboard. The name's Weaver. I'm the foreman for yourself and a couple of the other shipbreakers in this region. This here's Morgan Station. She may not look like much right now, but once we boot her up, she'll purr like a kitten. Alright.
But what if she doesn't want to purr like a
Let's test out
kitten?
your orientation control. Do me a favor and look up at that cargo elevator up above. That's it. So that's where all the salvage gets collected to be picked up by the transfer crew. Just in case you ever turn yourself out of whack, use your roll thrusters to reorient. Alright. Now
That's
let's
Q and
get
E.
flying. Activating your thruster controls now. Try moving around. Now, vertical control. Looks good. Now to finalize these movement checks, I need you to fly to these waypoints.
Thrust forward. Q and E to brake. Is it and or is it? No, maybe not.
Used to be a cutter myself, you know. Till there were some complications with my last revive. Those were early days in the tech, though, so never you mind about that. Oh, almost forgot about the most important thing. Brakes. Get yourself going at a decent clip, and then test them out, why don't you?
Oh yeah, it is both keys.
Alright, looks like the bay here was left in a bit of a mess. We're gonna clean this scrap up. Gonna activate the furnaces. Now. Dang thing. Would you just... There you go. So these furnaces are used to melt down soft metals. Should go without saying.
Come on, Weaver,
that
hurry
these
up.
things are as hot as all get out. So try not to drift into them by accident. Okay. Let's get a handle on your grapple tool. This fella here is a shipbreaker's bread and butter. This is how we move salvage around. Activate the beam and hold it to grab an object and move it around. If it's not too heavy, give it a go and move one of these pieces into either furnace. So when you're holding an object with the grapple, you can retract the beam. This will pull a light object to you. If it's heavier than you, it'll pull you towards it.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Ow.
Helmet damage detected. Always use LYNX branded repair kits to avoid invalidating your warranty.
Grapple push.
Nice job cleaning up all that soft metal scrap cutter. Let's move on to the bigger nanocarbon chunks now, shall we? You may have already noticed that these are too heavy to move with your grapple. I'm enabling your scanner so we can check out their structural makeup. Go ahead and boot it up.
Toggling
This mode of
scanner.
your scanner lets you assess an object's structure. What I want you to focus on right now are these cut points. All right. Control is giving me the go-ahead to get you cutting. You have quick access to all your tools through your HUD. Just open up the tool selector and choose the cutting tool. Your cutting tool has two modes. The first one is the stinger. It's designed for precision vaporization of cut points like this. You ready to perform some zero-G surgery, Cutter? Well,
Yep, let's
split
get
this
to it.
strap so it's light enough to move.
How am I at a range when I'm right in front of it?
That's how you do it. Okay, let me boot up the processor so you can salvage these. Do me a favor and look towards one of them there so I can see if they activate right. Yeah, perfect. Wish me luck here, Cutter. Me and technology ain't always the best of friends. Hey, alright, we're in business. Now swap over to your grapple and toss one of them pieces you separated right in there.
There we go. Any moment now.
Well, okay. We're almost done getting this bay in shape. Let's go after that large aluminum chunk over there. Now this beast is way too heavy to move as is. It's also too dense for your stinger to break it down, and there are no structural cut points for us to take advantage of. We're gonna have to switch over to the split saw mode of your cutting tool and start slicing this thing down to size. Go ahead and switch cut modes now. Now try changing the angle of the cut. We're in business. I've unlocked the trigger on your cutting tool. It'll split that big chunk clean in two. Go ahead and give her a whirl. I'm gonna turn on your salvage indicator so you can track how much work is left to do. This thing will track how much you've salvaged and how much you've lost. For now, let's try and hit that first goal marker. And that's what it's all about, Cutter. The more salvage goals you complete, the closer you'll get to hitting your certifications and ranking up.
Takes its time, doesn't it?
Material deposited.
Great first shift in the yard, Cutter. Let's head on over to your hab, and I'll show you the ropes there. Now fly on over back to the master jack. I'll put a marker on it so you can find it easy. When you get there, head on in, and we'll get started. Great first shift in the yard, Cutter. Let's head on over to your hab, and I'll show you the ropes there. Now fly on over back to the
haven't gotten everything yet.
I'll put a marker on it so you can find it easy. When you get there, head on in, and we'll get started.
Wait for it. There we go.
Valuable object process. Edit
Enter the hab. Was hub taken? There's a console here on the right that lets you buy, replenish stuff.
Congrats, Cutter. You're already on your way up. Head on into your hab, and we'll check things out. Welcome to your new home, Cutter. Has everything you need. This is officially called a ready-made long-term employee habitation something or other. But around here, we just call it your hab. Okay, let's have a look at your employee terminal. Now let's get caught up on career progression and certification. I've sent you a message with an explanation now. Go on and give it a read. Clear as mud? Don't worry. I'm here to walk you through the process, and soon enough I'm going to introduce you to some of the other shipbreakers. Most of them are willing to help you out, too. Alright, let's start a new shift and pick your first ship to work on.
Right, now what?
This is the catalog that shows you which ships you have access to from the shipyard. Every day, you can choose to continue working on a ship you've got, or start a fresh one. Go ahead and pick one, any one, and we'll get to work.
Time is money.
She's all yours, Cutter. Your primary goal is to reach
Switching to scanner.
Now try to remember, nanocarbon goes in the processor, aluminum goes in the furnace. Try to salvage the entire ship if you can. We call it using the whole buffalo. You'll hit your certs faster that way, and start knocking out that debt of yours. I'll be observing and giving you any help if you need it. Good luck,
Right,
Cutter.
each side has a I take those two out and then take the next two. Actually, we can focus the beam on that one. And then if we go in here, we can do the same for the rest. What we need to watch out for, what he hasn't mentioned yet, is hazardous materials. Anything that can explode. And some things that can explode are things that we want to collect separately as well, but we'll get to that progression shortly, like, because right now we're still in tutorial really, I think. The last one on this end is reach certification rank 3, so I want to try and be a lot quicker this time of playing the game as well. You get upgrades to the tools, so like range and whatever. Yeah, there is a temperature limit on this. Here we go. Let's break it away.
I know these ships look intimidating to scrap at first, but trust me, soon enough you'll be stripping the huge Gecko-class freighters like they're nothing. Got my start salvaging back down Earthside in the droid scrapping business. You know what made me come up here? Well, one day we got a batch of this particular model in. One of them kinds with synthetic skin and everything. We almost never saw people looking ones like that. They were always too expensive to manufacture. Seems someone found a warehouse full of them, mothballed for, 20 years or so. Since the AI ban took effect.
Trying to see how we can cut around this.
A whole lot for pennies, thinking they could turn a tidy profit with the salvage. No word of a lie. These things look exactly like my stepmother did. Even had the same slack-jawed expression. Now, Jed and I wasn't exactly pals or nothing. All the same, I couldn't bring myself to start smashing that dopey face. And that's when I looked into getting on with LYNX. Tell you what.
Oh, it is separate.
Not better to cut up something that doesn't look like
So
a
for a
family
moment
relation.
there, I thought it was still attached.
I'm running off.
So it looks like
Holler if there's anything giving you grief up
this
there.
entire panel is all for the processor. Just double checking. We can nudge it. Ah, yes. It's 2 segments. Just check the outside of it now to make sure that there's nothing else due. Yeah, there we go. Right, get to the sides. Later we'll be able to
Valuable object
tether.
credit awarded.
These all appear to be processor. Nice. Come on.
Valuable object processed. Credit awarded.
Should be enough. Once it gets within the gravity well of it, it's done for, so to speak. There we go. Right, now grab the small stuff.
Raw material processed. Credit deposited. Valuable object processed. Credit deposited.
Showing as still connected. Let's see if this does the trick.
Deposit accepted.
Is there no way to slice this off? There we go.
Material deposited.
Seems to highlight yellow, I think, when you're doing it right. But we have to cut the other side as well. There we go. Might be the bottom. Yeah, it's the bottom and possibly the top. It's still connected somewhere. Oh. Where is it connected still that I can't see it? That actually looks like it's not connected. Maybe we need to split at a different point, like that and that and that.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's not turning blue means it's something is still considered connected to, even though what we're visually seeing makes it look like it's not. How's it so much? Okay, well, that sort of worked.
Deposit accepted.
No, that one's still stubborn. There we go. This panel is for the furnace, so let's cut around. Which it only comes up as available when it turns red. I see gaps all around it. So what is stopping it? Oh, I see there's a brace or something in there. This is actually one of the easy ones because there's nothing else in here by the looks of things. So we do all of these points. This will make it easier to break apart. Wait for it to cool down. Okay, there's a few more in here we missed. Come on.
Object accepted for processing. Credit deposited. Material deposited.
Once you kind of get into the swing of things, you can just kind of start grabbing stuff and just dragging it towards where it needs to go.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Oh yes, on some of these ships they have this on the back. It can be useful to take these out because they can be is it fuel or engines, I think. And there's some upgrades that makes this relatively easy to do later once you get to some.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage gains observed.
We're about to hit certification level 3, rank 3. Wait a minute, is that the right one? Okay, yeah, so sometimes you can accidentally put it into the wrong thing. Let's just bump this along. There's not many games really like this. This is kind of the first of this type or genre. There is another one, but I'm not going to be mentioning it on this one. I think I actually covered it already on a previous first look. What was it? Was it Mech Warrior or something? Mechanic. Whoa! We're getting pulled in. We're getting pulled in. Mayday. What's the button to get ejected the opposite way? No, don't be shoving me in.
Activity has dropped below nominal levels. Please return to work.
Boot up my next clone. You have been processed. Total value was 814. Wait, what? The processor is incompatible with organic material.
Alright, breathe. You're okay. Got yourself good there. Don't sweat it. Happens to the best of us. Always good to review your spare replacement form and see how you can avoid future,
Hiccups.
too many
Hey,
spares
at
will
least
rack
it
up
was the
debt.
processor, not the
That's how
furnace.
they get you. Okay, let's get back to work. Weaver out.
Material deposited. Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
That one comes in handy because it does a couple at a time. So long as you're within range. But don't always do it if you're on, obviously later on in the game where there's other objects hidden nearby that you need to be careful of. That would be bad. That's it. Bump it along.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Salvage gained. Rewards increasing.
There's one called a tether where you can click once and then click at the second destination you want to go into. Oh, 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 no, 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 no. Get me out of here.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Come on. always works other times. Get me out of here. That's it. Sometimes I find it's just not worth taking out those small pieces if they're not already off. As I said, this is the easy one we're doing at the moment. Wait till we get to the difficult ones.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Just need to get the momentum going and then give it a kick if need be, if it's not veering in the right direction. There we go.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded. Deposit accepted.
We get the top to move. There we go. There's another big piece. Yeah, that's good. Just pull it down, across.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Yeah, it's heading in. Right, top of this needs to be separated.
Ship teardown complete. Other account credited.
That's it. Come on. Right, what is left here? This looks to be mostly furnace. It is.
Valuable object processed.
Now, we could, can we shift it over? Don't think it's connected down, is it? No, it's not. Glass is different from the shell, although the cockpit, I mean. That's why we're seeing it change so much as we move. Right. Why is it not letting me pull the glass out? Yeah, it is broken. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. No, still trying to grab it as one piece. There we go, I think that's it.
Material deposited.
Here we go. We can get this all gone in one lump. I know there's some furnace stuff on it, but the majority of it is actually for processor, so I'm not too bothered.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
There it goes.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
Ooh, according to that, there was a lot of aluminium in it. And it's actually penalized me, I just noticed. I don't remember doing that the last time I played. Right, well, the other side, this is pretty much all for the furnace. No, it seems to think it's too big. There we go. No, no. Where do you think you're going? You can probably push it as well using our suit, but don't get too close. Come back from it. Yep. That's it. In it goes.
Material deposited.
There might be small bits lying around you can also do if you really want to. Right, let's go rank up. Yeah, bits of glass, that's what that was on the hood.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Here we go. just made 789,000.
New certification level has been achieved. License level increased.
License level. We're licensed for upgrades now, apparently.
Looking good, Cutter. Now go ahead and pick another ship.
No, I'm not picking another ship. I want to look at my certification stuff. How do we oh, that's just the actual certification and not the... Okay, what have we got here? Grade 2. And then it gives you the hazard rating, resources on board, and the value of salvaging it all. And it kind of progresses from there, and then you also get the update.
Alright, hold up a second there, Cutter. Because you've increased your rank, we're gonna give you the next grade of ship. Now this one will be full of machinery, electronics, furniture, all stuff that Lynx can collect and resell. You're gonna want to toss those items on the barge. That's the big green thing below you. Go ahead and have a look.
Right, what does it want us to do? Look at the barge.
Toss any valuable objects or components down there. Now don't worry about breaking anything. There's a dampening field that'll catch everything. It works great. Most of the time. Let's give it a go.
Roger, roger. So yeah, so like the nacelles for the thrusters are showing up as green for the barge. I think on this one we have to get inside to cut through to release the clamps, or can we cut them from here? Maybe we can cut it here. Check the one below. No, there's none. Oh yeah, just used to get it out of its own way. Send it down. There's an antenna there.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Which? Okay, so this is shown as barge and processor. How are we supposed to separate? Oh yeah, we can do that.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Nice, let's do the other one. Give it a bit of momentum and then pull down. Push. Right, while that's heading down, let's do this. Pull it out. Chuck it in there. But all of this is processor, so now on some ships we will get to a point where we will have to properly use the airlocks and depressurize them, like equalize pressure essentially, before we do it like this, because if you compromise the pressure by making a hole, it can go boom. That's not good. Oh yes, you can pull this off and throw that down. Yes, there's actually that. In fact, that is the controls for doing it, and there's another one. Is that actually down there? Or did it stop, or did it make it the full way?
Nice work. Got that pretty quickly. Now let me teach you about the kiosk. Once the training
Oh yeah,
wheels come
kiosk is
off,
up here.
LYNX regulations mean you gotta cover your own oxygen and fuel costs. That's the way things go. Turning it on now. Now no need to panic, they'll last you a good while. But if you end up running out, you gotta go top up at the kiosk over there. Let's have a look.
That's awful. I'm working for a corporation that wants me to pay for my own fuel and oxygen.
Good stuff, Coder. Pretty easy, right? Alright, I'll leave you to it. We'll chat again when you hit the next rank. Leave her out.
So the patch kit is to fix your suit and helmet. Repair is tools and equipment. Tethers. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was talking about earlier. Nova fuel for your thrusters, oxygen.
Have a nice day.
So at the moment our suit is... I think our suit is okay. Anyway, let's try not spend on yet. Right, let's just slice this out.
Material deposited.
What is it stuck on? Right, let's line up.
Deposit accepted.
Right, you know what? For a first look, that'll do. We will end it there for now. But yeah, check it out on Steam Store. It's definitely worth the purchase. Bye for now.